Good morning, Elite, and welcome to the show every
that cut out, by the
Saturday
way.
morning.
That cut out terribly.
Sure did.
It probably cut out, but you know what?
No, but you gotta be like,
See, it cut out for you too. I don't think our mic wants us to yell and destroy people's eardrums and have them bleed.
Nah,
at 10
you
a.m.
gotta
in the
do like
morning.
the ASMR version of Good Morning.
Good morning, Elite. I don't have any pants on right now. Subscribe to see the tushy.
See the tush. Subscribe to see the tush.
And here goes my camera.
You heard
Here
it.
goes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Here,
There
we'll
it
high
goes.
five. Bam. High five. We high five.
High five.
Yeah.
High five, sex climb.
Yeah. Ladies
Very
and gentlemen,
nice.
But welcome to
My
Good
brother
Morning.
Bill, you'll never get this. One day he got it.
I can't even get through the intro with Borat talking over here. But ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
see,
Jermaine.
my new Enso ring came in. It's the Mace Windu one. I know you guys can't see the purple, but I'm wearing it
Well,
just to get the feel for it because I'm not getting married for 2 years. I just wanted to wear to see what it feels like to wear a ring, and it feels interesting.
Amazing. There's two rings I've wore, a cuck ring, and then the other ring I wore was
Well, that one I've had for a long time.
a promise ring that Austin Aries gave me.
Oh, you got one of those
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I did. I got one from. He was
man.
trying to control his narrative.
Yo, he's
of
pissed at me.
being
I
a
lost
bitch.
mine. I lost mine. He went nuts and said, "Yo, I'm going to EC3 now."
Yeah, so you know
Hey,
what?
yo.
I'm controlling my own narrative.
Yeah.
If you don't just eat plants, you're a horrible person.
How dare you eat meat?
Yeah,
It's
plants
too
have
early
feelings
for
too.
that.
What do you eat? I eat rocks. That's what I eat.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, like I said before the shenanigans started, welcome to Good Morning, Elite. Right here on behalf of Elite POV, where we talk everything AEW Rampage. Today's episode is going to be a little bit all over the place, though, because Rampage last night, although AEW Rampage still be a good episode, really nothing too exciting happened. We'll touch base on a couple of things that happened. But other than that, we're going to start off. Okay, because I think we talked about it before.
You didn't introduce us. There's no Phil.
Oh, yeah, there's
Phil, we
introduce.
miss you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yo, Kyle literally woke up 3 minutes before we went live.
I did.
The
You guys
total
can see
shoot.
my
Yeah,
eyes.
he was like-
Absolutely.
The text was like, "Where's Kyle?" And all I hear is, "Ding, ding, ding, ding." He's calling, and he's like, "I'm sorry, guys.
I just rolled
woke
out of
up."
bed.
I did. I
Like,
went
morning wood and all.
to my Keurig, turned it on right away, and ran to my computer.
He's like, "Hey guys, it's Paul Levesque. Sorry, I slept on my arm."
I ain't shooting. I did wake up 3 minutes before the show. Anyways, yeah, I just forgot to set my alarm. Anyways, yeah, so I'm joined by my two co-hosts. No Phil today, but we're joined by Anthony.
So we
DeStefano.
miss you. I hope your Who Got Next reunion goes great.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear you talk about Level Up and Braun Brecker.
For anyone listening, he was being sarcastic. That's not happening.
No, it's happening.
And then I'm joined by, obviously, the draw, Jacky Rodriguez, the cocky, the cucaracha.
And now to picture.
I have the slide set up, but I'm not gonna do it.
No, please don't do it.
I know you
Like,
will. I know you will. I know
No,
you
well,
will.
now you're gonna don't antagonize him into doing it.
Why?
Good-
It makes great television.
Oh, good
Hi,
morning,
Carrie, I love
everyone.
you.
As you can see, we're still all waking up. Kyle more than anybody.
Huh?
I've been up since 6. I already streamed.
Finally got my coffee.
I already got a little workout in. I did some Zumba. I was fucking doing Zumba with my daughter, and then so I've been up since 6. And we didn't. What time did we get offline last night? Like 1:30.
It was
Yeah,
like 1
1
something
a.m.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Probably did.
It was 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
I was singing that a little bit last night. I hit
Yeah,
stream.
You were.
You were singing
You were-
everything.
Yo,
Kyle.
you were in a singing mood last night, bro.
It was like a whole karaoke show. It was great.
Just wait until.
And what really
all
got
that-
me is when you started, you weren't full out butt rocking. You were just like singing Creed, but like you were just saying it.
Yeah.
And then we both hit the power together.
Yeah. I waited for the duo.
Myself, I.
I was doing like Vanilla Ice. He was singing, "This is how we do it."
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that
Jackie can
voice.
sing, so
Whoa.
it didn't sound that good. It was like,
Jackie just comes in and shows me up. I got it. Yeah. But
It's all-
anyways,
it's all a good love.
yes, that's us three. We're talking about AEW Rampage, but I want to talk about one thing first because Ant wasn't there when we discussed this on Wednesday. I was because he was a little bit late for the show. So, Ant,
Mhm.
it's now again said today on Rampage that Tony Khan, it was before he went on the radio show and said that, there's going to be he's for sure going to be now announcing a big announcement on Wednesday Dynamite. Now, my first reaction on Wednesday before you joined the show was like, okay, he's got to tone down on having every week being a huge announcement. Every week. And I
said that last night.
We
I'm
get there,
every
it's
week.
Oh, and don't worry, it'll be next week.
It's like a pregnancy announcement or an engagement announcement every day for him. And it's like, okay, dude, we get it. Fuck.
So, we kind of speculate what we think it's going to be. We didn't really get your opinion. So, like, do you have like an idea? I know there's so many rumors.
There's two things.
So many things out there.
There's two things I think. So they just released a new Owen Hart shirt, which I'm super hyped. Phil's buying it for me. I'm very excited for that. Finally. And so I think that it might be that the Owen Hart tournament might be open to other companies. So you can see New Japan stars, Ring of Honor stars. And so that could be one. The other one that I think it is that he bought Ring of Honor. So there's that. But because they're saying on Being the Elite, they're going to announce a special show.
A live event, yeah.
A live event. So that might be like a New Japan crossover or an Impact with everything that's happening with the Bullet Club. Being the Elite is where it should be announced, right? If they're going to announce something. So I think that's separate because God forbid Tony's like, I got 2 special announcements on Wednesday. And it's like, bro, stop.
No, the Young Bucks had their announcement. That's not mine.
Exactly. And I think that's how they're playing it. So that's what I think it's going to be. I really do think Tony Khan might have bought Ring of Honor.
I think the Young Bucks are going to have I think the Young Bucks are going to do. My instant thought was the Young Bucks are doing an announcement on BTE, and it's going to be for
Carrie. She works for AEW, guys. Carrie, not really, but she does. WrestleTix said it was West Coast shows.
It's exactly what I was just going to say. I thought it was going to be Young Bucks come on BT and says our first AEW live event is going to be in our hometown of Ranch Hill, Cucamonga. They'll probably find like a 5,000 seat arena there, and that's where they're going to
do it outside. Bash at the beach.
Outside. I mean, that'd be cool.
Bash at the beach, as opposed to doing it in Ohio in January.
Yeah, not Barbie's Beach House Blast. Where Johnny Gargano doesn't even fucking show up.
I don't remember. I don't think WCW even actually did it at beach either. They just made the set look beachy, didn't they?
No, they did one.
They did Road Wild, which was outside, where they had all the motorcycles.
They did Road Wild. They did Sturgis, which was Hog Wild, Road Wild, same thing. Didn't they do one Bash at the beach because Kevin Nash got thrown into the pool or jumped in the pool?
Oh.
Chat will know.
Well,
they did one outside event.
Yeah, okay.
Who knows what it was? Maybe it was an MTV Spring Break.
Well, I think me and Ant know.
Back in the day.
Hold on, me and Ant know why they did Hog Wild because we both just recently watched the same documentary, The Rise and Fall of WCW.
You know why they did Hog Wild? So Jericho could 25 years later spread Corona at Sturgis again. That's why they did it. It was foreshadowing.
Or he can talk about it on Rampage.
Yeah.
Trying to win someone else.
I performed in front of 3,000 bikers. No one cares, buddy.
He may be tough, but he's not performing in front of 3,000 bikers tough like me at WCW back in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
That's one thing. He's got to stop doing that. He's got to stop putting himself over on commentary.
Cupid Girl has a good good comment. Like, what if it's? Well, he said it's no talent. It's not a talent thing.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, if it was a talent thing, what if he just had Tony Storm, Athena, and like Tegan Knox in the ring? He's like, all right, here's your next generation of women superstars coming. And it's like, holy shit.
My fear is because he said legal teams were involved. He got legal teams involved to get Jeff's no compete clause done earlier.
Oh, 3 days earlier?
Yeah. That's my fear. That's my fear.
That would be so stupid, Jacky. Why are you giving gifts to yourself?
Investing.
If I don't love myself, who will?
I'm investing. I put my money in the company. Why you yell? That's what it. I'm sorry. You sound like you had like an Italian accent there.
Hey, I'm investing here.
I'm investing.
I'm putting the money in the company. Why you yell?
Yo, Bresh, I had to put some money in my bank account, cuz.
Cubic UK show is also possible because he has talked about in the past doing Craven's Cottage, where the football team he owns, soccer team he owns, plays out of there. And
what if the announcement has triple tag team titles? Well, it would make sense with the bullshit that they're doing at fucking Revolution. Yeah. You could have had fucking, and then we can then segue. You could have had Andrade versus Darby versus Sammy, because Andrade and Sammy, even though I got fucking spoiled on it online, it still was a banger last night. Imagine that triple threat match.
Yeah.
But like, I know you have to get Sting on there, but at the same time, it's like, that match right there would have stole the show, in my opinion. Those three guys would have worked their ass off.
Yeah, and they finally finalized last night. Revolution now has 9 total matches, so that includes the Tay Conti match. So I'm assuming we are all talking about that trios match that you just talked about, and that should be the pre-show, right? That has the ability to make people buy the tickets too as well, because of the amount of talent that's in there. You got Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassie, and then you got Sammy Guevara, Sting, and Darby. You got 6 guys there that can put on an incredible trios match because it's tornado style, right? There's no tagging, and just get people really, really excited to buy the
you could put Sting on a pre-show.
It's because AEW doesn't see they don't see the pre-shows as the motion in AEW.
No, they want to sell. They want to sell there.
Like WWE uses it as a demotion. They're like, you're not good enough to be on the main card. You're going in the pre-show.
Yeah, so that's why I enjoy that they call it the buy-in, because that is literally the purpose is to.
Right, I'm sorry.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's the purpose is to get.
I had eczema. I do have eczema, asshole.
So do I. Hey, we're eczema brothers.
Anyway, the purpose of the buy-in is to get people to be incentivized to buy the show, because y'all keep going off on tangents here, like while I'm trying to talk.
Sorry, Jacky. Go ahead. I apologize.
Thank you.
I'm not sorry. No apologies.
I know you're not. Anyway, that was my point.
All right. Well, 8 to 12.
It was somewhere in there.
I was doing the math because the voice of reason, Anthony DeStefano, not the king of talk show anymore. I'm now the voice of reason. I'm the influencer.
Oh, that's a nice nickname. I like that.
I don't think so. You influence people not to wear masks so they get COVID.
Oh my god.
That's what his gimmick is, right, brother? Pop the boys, just to pop the boys. So if you did 4 hours and 9 matches, because it's going to go to midnight, right? 8 to midnight. You still have an average of 26 minutes a match. Now, obviously, you're going to get the entrances, which fucking pissed me off last night, and it drove me crazy that there was no entrances, which we'll talk about. And that's something that Tony Khan said. He said, we're going to be doing stuff different, and we're going to gauge the audience and see. I didn't see anyone that's like, oh, I love nobody's interesting. No one having entrances. But if you look at that card, Punk versus MJF is going to get time.
Yep.
And Adam Cole and Hangman's going to get time. And even if anyone gets
Danielson,
like 15
Moxley.
Yeah, they'll get time too. But like Ty Conti and Jade, they could have a great match in 11 minutes, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Right. They don't need 20 minutes because they can tell a story. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, they could tell a great story in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to have to shorten some matches. I do think that one's going to be on the pre-show, and maybe that's why they didn't do the triple threat match, because then it's like everything's going to be rushed.
Yeah.
But their tag team matches take forever too. How they kind of balance the time.
Yeah. And then the ladder match, I feel like that's like that's a really tough like thing to shorten.
You can't.
You can't. That's what I mean. You can't really.
You have to have 20, 25 minutes.
That's going to be a 20-something minute match. They haven't announced the last person yet. I don't know if they're going to be doing a qualifier next week, or they're going to save it as like a Joker card, because they really haven't mentioned that there's going to be one Joker in this match. Like,
maybe it's Brian Cage.
That's what I'm thinking.
We can laugh, but they just renewed.
He's going to come out and rip a ladder apart again.
But like maybe it's Brian Cage. Maybe
long-term storytelling, man.
It's Face of the Revolution ladder match.
They get the Honey Nut Cheerio.
Yeah, they get the big Sonic ring, and then that grants them a TNT title shot.
You think Swerve will be the Joker? Ooh, I like that character.
I like that too, but I like our girl Kimmy's prediction still of, I don't know if I said this on the show Thursday. I'm going to say it again for anyone that missed it or just to hear it again. So our girl Insider Kimmy, our SRS, she goes, watch. It's going to be Cesaro because he's going to go in. He's going to win. He's going to grab the brass ring just like Vince said that he could never grab the brass ring.
Oh, my God. The symbolism alone. Yeah. And I know like everyone's like, oh, they take useless shots. And shut the fuck up. It's competition.
And
right?
It's Cesaro, the guy that should have been world champion at least once.
So like, here's the thing. Like, if you have a favorite team, do you boo the other team? Yes, you do. Why? Because it's competition. right?
Yeah.
So you take shots. Like Phillies, like I sit with my friends that are Cowboys fans, and I'm an Eagles fan, and all we do is talk shit to each other. You know what I mean? Like it's just the art of competition. So the shots are going to keep coming. The symbolism alone of Cesaro grabbing a brass ring would be one of the best moments in AEW history.
Right? Like that would be, and in him, even him as a TNT champion, the marketing he could do with that TNT belt. Like, you know,
oh,
like,
you know who I think could come back? Miro.
Yeah.
I missed the fuck out of Miro. I miss his hot wife promos. I can't wait. I know he was hurt, but like I can't wait for him to come back now.
What was his actual injury? Like what?
He was just like his something with his like thigh or something, his leg. He was supposed to be off for a little bit, and then they brought him back for when Moxley had to check himself into rehab. They brought Miro back for that from his like time he was supposed to have off, and he was on TV for 2 or 3 weeks, and then he went off again.
Yeah, that man's got a lot of neck issues. I don't know if anyone's seen that professional chiropractor on YouTube that does a lot of like lot of wrestlers and a lot of like celebrities. He did Miro, and Miro goes on in that. I watched that episode where he talks about like he has like he's always had a lot of neck issues wrestling his entire career. So
that's what I love about this company though. Is like they give people time off, like heal. Like Kenny Omega would have been rushed back and thrown into a Hell in a Cell in WWE, right? Yeah. Like no, here it's like go get 4
Elimination
surgeries.
Chamber, you're going to Saudi, pal.
Yeah, go get 4 surgeries and chill.
You're gonna get F5'd by Brock, pal.
I do agree, Kerry. Kerry wrote, story-wise, the match is Wardlow's to lose. This match is going to be an important part. Yeah, if Wardlow loses, I'll be shocked. Unless Sean Spears costs him by accident.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff with Sean Spears.
Sit in quotations.
He's gonna rip. You know what? Sean Spears is gonna take him off the ladder. I can see it. He's gonna Wardlow's gonna be right there, and then Spears is gonna push the ladder.
When we go back to last night though, like this is why Rampage felt really rushed, right? There was a lot of shit on it. There was no entrances.
Yeah.
And I don't like when they put similar stories together. And what I mean by that is you have the Sean Spears Wardlow story, but then you had Matt Hardy push Andrade's foot off the rope story. And it's like the same story, if that makes sense, of betrayal, of being outshined. You have to stop doing that. And I'm like, they could have saved it and separated it because it's like kind of felt like the same exact story happening 2 different ways.
Okay.
The rope thing was so confusing.
Yeah, and Jericho's like, it was an accident. What?
Because he kept calling back to it, calling so much attention to it, and I'm like, wait a second, was that an accident that he did that? Was that intentional?
No,
I don't know what.
We know why, because like Jeff's almost here, so they kind of need to. They're doing like the speed up process of him splitting off.
It just didn't seem like deliberate enough. You know what I mean? Where the intention was completely readable to the audience. At least it wasn't to me.
Did you see the I saw someone post a clip from Dark Elevation taping they did. And Matt Hardy was like going up the ramp doing the delete thing, and he stood on the ramp and did the whole delete thing with the whole crowd. And
I saw that.
I'm like, oh well, they're getting ready for it. Like they might be just doing a speeding process. Like there's gonna be a promo next week on Dynamite, guarantee, like of Andrade like bringing it up to Matt, and there's gonna be like tension between those two. I could just see a lot of tension going into the trios match between Matt Hardy and Andrade. So
I just hate that, like.
And that's
it's just Andrade keeps finding himself in situations he cannot control. Right? They had him with Vicky Guerrero. We didn't like Vicky Guerrero. They had him with Chavo. We loved Chavo. We loved what they were doing. But then they were going to put him with Ric Flair, which would have been massive. Ric Flair is Dick Flair and got fucking pulled out because he got exposed for being a creep that he is, right?
Right.
So then Andrade falls there where he's like, okay, now what? So you have him in limbo, and then you have him go buy the HFO or partner, and then Jeff Hardy decides he wants to come to AEW. It's like, this guy can't fucking catch a break. Just keep him by himself. Just let him go by himself. Fuck a manager. Fuck everything.
Well, he does need a mouthpiece. His English is not 100% great.
Would have never happened if Zelina Vega didn't go back to WWE. Yep. That's all this could have been avoided.
This is the beautiful thing, though, Kyle, and I agree. Like, while you say like you need a mouthpiece, I think what I love about AEW is like they let people with accents, with broken English. Like My family had broken English growing up. Like my great grandparents were from Italy. You know what I mean?
So
like,
let me ask this
that's how they spoke. That's America.
Yeah,
That's the world.
Are you guys a fan of a manager having two separate clients that are not together? Like
it depends. It depends how it's done.
Alex Abrahantes and Andrade, I think, would be a really good team.
They would be good.
I think they have to be, though, two heels or two faces in order for for continuity purposes. Like, they don't have to be associated with each other, but I think it'll be weird if you have, like, Alex managing Penta, who's, for all intents and purposes, a face, and then Andrade, who's a heel. Like, it's just, that might be where the
Penta will have to
go
heel, or Andrade.
Well, he's Penta Dark now, so might as well.
But you get what I'm saying? Is like, this guy cannot, and
Penta Oscuro.
He's the only one that's went there that I was like, man, I kind of wish you had more. Like, Miro had a fucking awesome run. Yeah. Danielson's had an awesome run. Punk's had an awesome run. Then you have Malachi Black is having a faction. You know what I mean? Like, Buddy Matthews is now in that faction. So all the people that kind of transplanted over here, they're doing big things, and Andrade just keep getting the short end of the stick. And it's not for lack of effort. AEW puts him on television a lot. Yeah. He's on almost every week. It's just shit that he can't control. And I mean, eventually they're just going to have to say, fuck it, go on your own. And I know that there's the language barrier, but guess what? That's the beautiful thing about this country. Everyone that you talk to sounds different, has a different accent. And I love that AEW puts that on the forefront, because Vince did not let that man speak at all.
Yeah, that's true. So,
yeah.
I mean,
promo he cut on Cody that he did in Spanish, like with his broken English, that came across very well. So like, he doesn't have to talk all the time if he doesn't feel comfortable, but I think it's doable.
I do want to go back in the chat because Isaac asked it. Isaac, I think that someone might have answered yes. Someone did. Adam did. They had a really, really big indie feud back in the day. Claudio, aka Cesaro, and Eddie Kingston. That's why those pictures those damn pictures are resurfacing of like Cesaro with hair and Eddie Kingston, like a really young Eddie Kingston with a goatee. Oh man, those pictures do not do both those gentlemen justice. My God, they look so incredibly different. I can't picture Cesaro with hair.
Eddie and I don't know if it's weird, because I was reading an interview, and I know Jacky reads a lot of interviews with Eddie Kingston because a lot of it's about the mental health aspect. But there was one where he's like, yeah, I don't care, especially Cesaro, fuck Cesaro. Like, he said it like a month ago, right? Or 2 months ago. And it's like, did he know that Cesaro was like, I'm not re-signing? Because why would that be planted in like an interview?
Yeah, they're good friends, so they could have been texting, and Cesaro could have texted him like, look, buddy, like, I don't think I'm re-signing here.
I'm going to find a direct quote when you're doing this, because it was literally like 2 months ago, and I was like, why are you calling out Cesaro? Like,
of a target.
So if Cesaro comes in, now this always goes back, like, there's always, it seems more recent in the last 6 months rather than before. There's a lot more top free agents available in the last 6 months than there ever has been in the 2 years of this company. And AEW seems to be scooping up a lot of it. Like, it's always going to run back to that question, like, do we have too many people? And I know there's the other case where they're like, oh, they're letting contracts run out, right? So it really
they didn't let Brian Cage run out, which I'm fucking shocked.
That's what I mean. Like, then I was going to transition into that where, like, but then they're picking up options on people's contract, which I didn't know that was a thing in wrestling.
So it wasn't 2 months ago, but it was May 29th. You want to know the truth? You want to know the inside baseball? He's a scumbag. Cesaro's a scumbag. I didn't have fun with him at all. He's a scumbag. Here comes inside baseball. He was supposed to put me over Shakar before he left for WWE, so he didn't do it. So fuck him. He knows I'm talking about him all the time. Fuck him. Fuck you, Cesaro, Claudio, whatever you want to call yourself. Stay over there. Don't come to AEW. Big bitch Swiss motherfucker. I don't like him. I don't know if you noticed that.
God. It's so hard to keep. Okay, is Eddie Kingston that good?
Work or shoot?
Yeah, work or shoot. Like, is Eddie Kingston just that good? Like, my God, that sounds like he's like literally going, yo, off the record, fuck that guy.
But I don't think it's like that.
But it was on the record.
Because, like, don't come here. Why would you like? That's like the part of it. I'm like, what do you mean don't come here? Like a lot of these guys know 6, 7, 8 months out. Like I'm not fucking signing back. I ain't going. Moxley, they were like for like a year they were putting contract after contract to him, and he's like, I'm not opening this shit. Yeah. Like so they know they're gonna leave.
So I just thought of something. So it's completely unrelated to what we're talking about.
Okay, well let's go. I mean, it's just a Saturday show. We don't have, there's no rules.
Yeah, Revolution's got 9 matches officially now. Nothing's been labeled as the buy-in match. I'm looking through the Rampage results, and I see the graphic for Serena's 5-minute challenge. And we know that she's been just squashing local talent, AEW Dark and Elevation talent. You know, we know this is eventually got to lead to somewhere where it's going to be a debut, because technically a debut is a rookie, because she's calling it the Rookie Challenge, right? So are we going to finally get a debut at Revolution? And could this possibly be the buy-in match?
Could it be Athena? Could it be Toni Storm?
That's
like
what
Athena
I mean.
Beating her in 5 minutes, making a statement because they've kind of built Deeb up. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or maybe it goes the full 5 minutes and it's a draw. Like it's a draw, you know, and that's been her toughest challenge yet.
But the problem is like the rookies are actually rookies. Like I feel. Like if you brought in Toni Storm, people are like, that's not a fucking rookie. She's wrestling.
But most of them said AEW debut on their graphic when they introduced
but they're like unheard of people. I mean, that girl last night pulled a Rick Rude.
Well, I mean,
on both shows.
Say a guy from WWE comes in here and has a great first year in AEW, and then at the end of his first year is the award time. Do you consider him for Rookie of the Year? Yes. So technically, he's a rookie.
See, rookie to me is like Jade, like last year.
Like in the first year of their career or something.
That's how I don't know.
Well, I mean, a lot of these talents that she's been squashing have been in the indies forever, so they're not rookies either.
Yeah, but they're not.
There could be a loophole,
but they haven't been on television. Like that's kind of how I define rookie.
But I don't think that's what
like,
she's making the challenge.
Been on TV. Like Toni Storm has held titles. Athena has held titles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, they're not rookies because they've been televised on a major television network with a title in their hand.
If they haven't come out and described
like Chris Jericho wasn't a rookie when he walked
in
the WWE. Jericho wasn't a rookie.
Yeah, but if they haven't come out and like described it as what the Rookie Challenge actually means, they can do it, because they haven't really gave us this detail as what Rookie Challenge actually means.
I'm down for it because I think it'd be really cool to put. But at the same time, how cool would it be to make a star in like a month or two? You actually have one of these rookies beat Serena Deeb.
Sky Blue, 100%.
Oh, please beat me.
Because like, I don't know how Sky Blue's not signed yet. How is she not signed yet?
Well, isn't Wheeler Yuta not signed yet either?
I don't think so either.
The graphic.
He's never got the graphic, right?
No.
Jacky would know.
Yeah, Jacky's the number one fan.
Oh
Jacky Wheeler Yuta.
I'm shocked you don't have a picture of him in your background yet. I'm kind of disappointed.
It's coming soon.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why.
Because I didn't send
Carrie,
it to her
you know
yet.
what to do.
Carrie, please make her a Wheeler Yuta shirt. We'll send you the money.
Yeah.
Just text me the amount.
Yuma is not signed. Okay, yeah. So, okay, but I think they still need to sign Sky Blue. Either way, Yuma, Yuma Wheeler.
Yuma's not signed.
Yuta's signed, but not Yuma.
What was the main event? All right, so
it was Bowens and Cassidy.
Let's talk. God, I mean, I didn't watch it. But I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it.
Okay, why didn't you watch it?
Because Phil was getting on my nerves with the fucking Orange Cassidy thing, so I got the fuck off. I didn't want to hear it, and I started up Gears of War. That's what I did. No, at first I will say I admit I was wrong, because I thought, and I don't know why. I think we went over this before, but in my head, when you win that Revolution face of the Revolution, to me that is a world title shot, and I don't know why my head keeps going there, and it's not. So when he was like Orange Cassidy's going to be in, I'm like, fuck that. I don't want. Sorry, Carrie, I love you, but I don't want Orange Cassidy near the title. Jax, you're cutting in and out a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want Orange Cassidy near the main title. Stop doing it. And then you guys were like, it's for the TNT. And I was like, oh, that's fine then. Like, I changed my tune. It's just, I thought it was for the main title. I like Orange Cassidy in the spots that he's in. I don't want him in the main title picture. And I know that he's the most over face. I get it. People love him. It's cool. It's just not for me. I'm not going to shit on it, but it's just not for me.
That's fine. if anyone didn't know,
but I love Bowens, by the way.
Yeah, as we were talking about the Acclaimed, the reason why Max Caster's rap was so cut out and so small was because they actually
borrowed Jacky's
they did
mic.
some great editing. They did some great pop me. They did some great editing, and Max Caster unfortunately rapped about the events happening in Ukraine and put that into his rap. So they had to edit that out, and he's got to stop doing that because the last time he said something that was probably shouldn't have been said, he got suspended for 30 days. So,
but listen, even if like, and I get it, it's comedy, and I am one of the most like offensive, like I love offensive comedy. Anyone on this panel will tell you like nothing really offends me. I laugh because I know comedy's comedy, right? But like with World War III on our doorstep, maybe we don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Maybe we just we kind of go
100%
elsewhere.
Yeah.
And like, okay, like now 5 years ago, you make a joke about it when everything's over, maybe. But like right now, it's so raw, it's so real. We're seeing videos of kids kissing their dads goodbye, and it's like, you know, like we don't in this climate, we don't need that. Like you could find other things to rap about Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, right? Like there's plenty of stuff to say about them. So I think sometimes the low-hanging fruit, which seems like a good idea, sometimes isn't a bad idea. And I love the Acclaim, and I'm glad that AEW cut it, because if not, Jesus.
Yeah, and they're amazing. It got clear because Tony Khan trusts their talent with their promos. He did say, I remember though, before he was going to start proofreading, so maybe it was kind of like he forgot to proofread it, or Max Caster, because he's a rapper, he just innovated on the spot and thought he could add that in to spice up his rap that was already written. So I'm sure Max Caster is going to get a talking to, or if not a talking to already, another slap on the wrist. But it doesn't have to be that much. I think it's got to be like a closed doors punishment because we didn't get to see it on TV.
Yeah, it's got to just be like, bro, like Tony Khan's going to have to start reading. I'm going to have to start reading your shit. Like, it's going to be that simple. Yeah. I'm going to have to read your shit now. Like, I gave you one chance. You fucked up. Yeah. Now I got to read your shit.
That was what the intention was. That they were going to start reading it.
Yeah. Cupid Girl 125. Where's Jay Lethal? I don't know. I don't know. He's just, it's another guy that's continuing to be lost in the shuffle after being brought in.
Maybe the announcement is Rampage will be fucking 2 hours so we can get some of these guys on, because I feel the same way.
Yeah. They're going to make maybe the 7 o'clock. Hey, this is conveniently coming after the time they put it at 7 o'clock. Maybe Tony Khan loved the 7 o'clock slot.
Really? Because the ratings didn't. Jesus.
Did it not do good at the 7 o'clock?
400,000.
Oh. Well, maybe because like it was NBA All-Star Weekend and no one really was paying attention to wrestling.
Listen, Saturday night was the skills competition, right? Yeah. So I had that on TNT. I wasn't paying attention. I was drinking and eating, getting ready for the skills competition at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, that was on. Yeah, Rampage is on.
Or maybe they're going to move Rampage to Tuesday since NXT doesn't really matter anymore. I don't know. Anyways.
Rampage could go on any other night.
Put
it, you know what I mean? Put on Tuesday night. Put on Thursday night.
And it was also live at 3 p.m. on the West Coast at 7 o'clock. So they're missing their West Coast audience.
Yeah, that's tough.
Really early.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the West Coast, people don't even go inside their house till like 8 p.m. because it's so beautiful out all the time.
So, I mean, if they want to do 2 hours for me, just do 9 to 11.
If you want to do 2 hours, do 8 to 10 or 9 to 11.
Yeah. 9 to 11 at least gives it 6 o'clock in the West Coast. So you have people that are actually home and probably already eaten dinner. So
I love the 8 to 10 slot. I love the 8 to 10 slot if you moved it to like Saturday nights.
If he doesn't care about competing with SmackDown?
No. If you moved it to Saturday at 8 to 10, I guarantee.
Saturday.
Friday night, I feel like more people go out than Saturday. I don't know why. I feel like Friday night, you're like, fuck work. I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. Saturday, you do stuff during the day. And at night, you're usually chilling. You might have people over, but Saturday night, for the most part, in my house, we just chill. You know what I mean? We go out to a dinner, we hang out.
Yeah.
Like, so I think Saturday night, and we saw it with Battle for the Belts. Like, they drew like 700 on Battle of the Belts for that 1 hour on Saturday night.
Yeah, that also sucks for the UK people for Rampage because it's like 3 a.m. for them. when Rampage comes on, and no one's staying up till 3 a.m.
Listen, I never questioned the
Rampage.
UK should get every fucking pay-per-view because of their dedication to watching any show and watching us. Because some of us, some of you guys are in the chat at like when we're live at 8:30, 9 p.m. and it's like 1 a.m.
Dynamite, they have to, if they want to watch it live, it's 11 p.m. at night.
That's
like,
brutal. That's brutal.
Man. Like the sacrifice the UK people make for wrestling is ridiculous. So
they deserve a pay-per-view. And here's the thing, I really do think now that COVID's, you can't, every time I say COVID's like at the tail end, it like boosts back up. Last time I said that, I fucking got COVID. So COVID's still around, but with COVID eventually subsiding, right? I feel AEW is going to put their footprint in the UK where WWE has dropped the ball for so many years. How many years has it been people begging to get like a yearly pay-per-view in the UK because their audience is so passionate? Then they call the WrestleMania crowd the greatest. Well, it's because a lot of it's the UK coming over here. So I think AEW is going to put their footprint in the UK and they're going to expand that brand much bigger than WWE has over the time.
They could do any show over there and it's going to draw. Like they could, as I mentioned this before, they can do the O2 Arena over there for sure. Like their first time over there, if they want to do Craven's Cottage, that's fine. But if they want to go into an indoor arena first show, O2 Arena, they'll sell out.
Here's the thing.
They will sell that shit out.
There is no overhead. There is no overhead to pay rent the arena if they go to the soccer stadium. Mm-hmm. You know how much money he saves to do a huge show in the
Craven's
UK?
Cottage, I think
he owns it. I own this bitch. Like
I think you just have to work with the elements because the weather over there is not always great, and then his Craven's Cottage is a very open concept stadium where the roof cannot close.
Adam, I like that. I like that question. I'll throw it to Jacky for this. Would you make one of AEW4's pay-per-view? Like, would you make one of their pay-per-views be in England, or would you add a fifth?
I'm personally of the belief that it should be a 5 pay-per-view at least, or ideally 6, like one every 2 months.
Yeah, I like 6.
Because it helps to move storylines a little bit. There are some points where there's like gaps between pay-per-views and storylines kind of get like stagnated. So yeah, I would say vote for the 5th and have it, and have why not this? Why not have a 5th in the UK and then have a 6th in Canada?
Right? Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Canada. In Canada, I read that AEW is crushing WWE. I don't know if that's true, Kyle. You live there.
I haven't read that. I do know of a lot of my wrestling friends up here have converted fully to AEW. They're just like, no, screw WWE.
Is WWE behind like a paywall? Like, is that like something you have to subscribe to?
Because they don't have the network anymore. I don't know what it is for them up here anymore. Because like I haven't. When I was watching the WWE, like when I was still watching, it was still network. So I don't know. I wasn't around with the Peacock transition. So I know with AEW, we're watching through our version of ESPN, which is just called TSN.
Which is huge. Which is fucking huge. Yeah, that's huge. That's prime time.
So they get so there's 5 channels. There's TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they get TSN 2 every Wednesday live, and then Rampage has its own channel by itself every Friday night. So there's commercials, but like there's no sports on before or after. But in Canada specifically, Tony Kahn, in Toronto specifically, Tony Kahn owns about 3 hotel chains in Toronto.
Yep.
And the original idea for Full Gear 2020 was supposed to be in Toronto, and then COVID happened. So I know for a fact that once everything kind of lifts up fully, he's coming to Toronto at some point for some event. Either it's a Dynamite, or if he's going to make this year's Full Gear in Toronto, because by then we should be back to normal, and it should be a little bit more doable than it was obviously in 2020. So we know Tony Khan, and just look at the top stars in his company are all from Canada. Like Kenny Omega's from Canada, Chris Jericho's from Canada. Like you're doing the Owen Hart thing. He's a Canadian.
Wrestling history with Stampede Wrestling in Canada is something that I think, even though that they have it on the network, right? I think that homage wasn't paid to that enough for like the modern wrestling fan. I think Tony Khan, one thing I love about him is he's always paying homage to the old school, right? The things
Mm-hmm.
that back when men were men. No, back like he's paying homage to wrestling history. He's a wrestling historian, right?
Yeah.
The dog collar match. We haven't seen that forever, right? That match was not around for how many years, right? And then we get it. And it's like he's paying homage to all the great matches and all of the great styles that there used to be. So and I want to touch on something I know Carrie brought up. Yes, you'd have to run the soccer stadium at the end of May and July.
Yeah.
Because the soccer, but that's the perfect time. And I can't wait personally till I start seeing 40, 50,000
It could be a special dynamite. Look what they
outside
did.
stadiums, but I can't wait to see 50,000 people outside with a huge AEW stage.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now who's the B? Now who's the B company?
Like
right?
the WrestleMania type
awesome.
stage.
Yep. Like I cannot.
I still
when it
think
gets
that
to
first
that
show
point-
is going to be the Jacksonville Stadium where the Jaguars play.
Oh, again,
Yeah.
no overhead. No,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you got to pay the vendors and all, but like, you're not renting that arena. Like, you know, WrestleMania has what, 3 days to set up? Tony Khan's like, yeah, we got fucking 6 months to set up. Football's over. Like okay.
and it's so convenient because they can do Rampage and Dynamite in Daly's place, which is literally attached to the arena, and then they do the big event in the arena next to it. So like, they have the resources, obviously. And I know it's in the back of his head. It's always in the back of his head. When are they going to do the big show? They're going to wait, obviously, until things
now
would probably be the time to do it.
After this year, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to.
All out,
it's the big arenas right now. They're doing the 20,000 seater. They're going to probably
all out in Chicago, right? You'll do all out in Chicago. That will sell out in a day, right? We're buying, I think, 8 tickets for our row, right? I think
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
It's Carrie, Robin, and all of us, right? So, that's gonna be fun. But then it's like next year, do you break away from doing the Vegas and doing the Chicago? Because now you can do Jacksonville 50,000. You could do LA. You can do these warm weather places where you can get an outside arena and fill that bitch.
You can even do half, like they did SummerSlam at Vegas's football stadium, but they only did half the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So they could do something like that.
That stadium's gorgeous too.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. They could even do a special Dynamite in the UK like they did Grand Slam. You know what I mean? If they found a big enough arena over there, they could just do it like
Grand Slam felt like a pay-per-view. That felt like a pay-per-view.
Being in the venue for that live was just like unreal. The level of sound and how into it people were. And I think that may have been a preview of what could be, you know, coming up next for them if they decide to do these bigger arenas.
Yeah.
The sky is the limit for this company, but I'm saying you got to do it soon, right? Because as crazy as it is, Punk signed for 3 years, and we're already 7 months into his contract, right? So you only have 2 years, let's say, left to Punk. Maybe he resigns, maybe he doesn't.
I think he resigns.
Danielson only signed for 3 years. You only have 2.5 years left. So, like, with the schedule already being set that All Out's going to be in Chicago, this year's kind of like a wash. Yeah. So you have that final year of them to really start. Maybe that's what you hold off Kenny and Punk for, right? Maybe that's what you're waiting for. It's like, or maybe Okada comes over and gets Danielson.
Hey, that's also something too I've thought about in the past. Their first big stadium show, maybe even at the Jaguar Stadium, that could be the New Japan AEW Super Show. They could easily sell out for that type of show. If people know you're gonna get all these top AEW stars and you're gonna get the top stars from New Japan,
I wouldn't
because people travel from here, but people travel from here to go to.
This is gonna sound bad. I know, but because Japan's amazing, right? But this is going to be the thing. I don't think New Japan, draws as well as we think they do here. And I could be wrong, but I don't think you advertise it as a super show.
They wouldn't have done their US stuff here if they didn't.
I don't think they could sell out a 20,000 seat arena.
Them by themselves? Maybe
combined with AEW.
Because they combined. They did it.
But this is my point.
Hold up, they were doing it with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, because all the guys from AEW, because Omega and the Bucks and all them, right? So now this landscape of New Japan, this is just my opinion. I don't think you advertise it as a super show. I think you advertise it as AEW's biggest show of all time, and you have like Okada or Tanahashi or like those guys sprinkled in, but it's not every single match has to feature a New Japan star, because I feel like I would rather see Punk versus Omega, Okada versus Danielson, Tanahashi versus, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather see that And then you could still get the AEW matches,
did
the
that.
Young Bucks versus FTR. Like you could still
do Supercard like that because that's what G1 Supercard was. It wasn't always Ring of Honor versus New Japan. They had sometimes it was all Ring of Honor versus Ring of Honor.
Does Double or Nothing always have to be in Vegas? Probably because they ran in Atlantic City and we only sold like 3,000 tickets, and that's the poor man's Las Vegas. That's the second biggest gambling place in the United States. So yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, they sold. I mean, New Japan did sell at the Garden when Omega was over there with New Japan.
Yeah, and you know what? That show ended up stinking because everyone left to come to AEW.
Yeah.
They sold out the Garden on a wish and a prayer that Omega and the Bucks were staying.
I went to the G1 Supercard
in New Orleans.
No, the G1 Supercard.
I went to the New Orleans.
The one in New York at MSG during WrestleMania 35 weekend, and there were the Bucks, Kenny. They weren't all there, and that place was sold out.
Yeah, because didn't they think they were going to be there?
No, the main event was Okada, I think, against. God, I don't remember that main event.
Was it Marty? No.
Oh, it might have been Marty. I think it was Marty against Okada.
That's the one where Enzo jumped the barrier.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that place was sold out.
Well, listen, that's how you know that show wasn't the greatest because the only thing I remember from it was Enzo and Cash.
Okada Jay White.
Okada Jay White. Okay, so that match was probably banging. I didn't watch that.
I was there live and it was sold out and people were going nuts. So now you include, New Japan with an AEW, you can sell a stadium easily and label that as a G1 Supercard.
All I remember is we watched it in a hotel room because we were fucking super tired.
Oh yeah, it was
that
was the triple threat ladder match. You're right, Phil. It was Marty, Matt Taven, and Jay Lethal in a triple threat ladder match, and it was Okada and Jay White in the main event, which was like a 30-minute match. It was unreal.
I do think that if you're going to sell out, I personally think Okada's going to end up signing with AEW eventually.
That'd be cool.
I do. I
know he's expressed interest in WWE, but I think that would
he's done everything you could in New Japan 5 times over. I think he would come.
Taven, I'm sorry, Phil.
Let's go to Matt Tavern. Let's go to the tavern. Let's go to the saloon.
Let's get a saloon, brother.
We're boys. We used to go drink. Andre the Giant used to drink 15 beers with his pinky.
Anyways.
When men were men, and then sometimes I would piss in one of them and he would still drink and pop the boys.
Maybe the purchase of Ring of Honor that Tony Khan may announce next week will include, because Ring of Honor and New Japan had a partnership for the G1 Supercard. Maybe him purchasing Ring of Honor now signs a contract that the G1 Supercard will now be AEW versus New Japan once a year.
I don't know. The sky's the limit. The great thing is AEW has a working relationship with everybody except one company. So sky's the limit.
Girl, that would be something really big for them to do if they can get a partnership with them. But I know a lot of North American fans aren't the biggest fans of the Joshi style of wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's
they tried
really
it.
Tough.
I think, like to me, like the Joshi style, like Riho was their first champion. She's good. She's fun. But I think out of them, Sheeta's the one that people actually like clung to. And then a lot of the other Joshis, like the lady who came out dressed as Freddie Mercury all the time.
Oh, she's still there. She's still there. I mean, but she dresses as a queen.
It threw me. Like I'm like, what? What is this?
That's because Freddie Mercury was her idol.
Okay. Yeah. Michael Jackson's my idol. I don't walk around grabbing my dick all day.
Yeah, but I mean, some wrestlers do that though. Some wrestlers include like their idol into their gear, so it's just kind of the way she did it. I know that the Joshis are very elaborate with their gear. But the Stardom, I know Stardom. I've watched a few Stardom matches. It's really good. If you see past, I know some people like won't. It's it's not their thing. That's fine. But like when you see past that and you watch like an actual Stardom match, it's really good.
They're good. Yeah. It just doesn't. Maybe it doesn't translate to the way the production is.
It's tough because over here people just don't care.
There's one name that I'm throwing money at. Female wrestler. I'm throwing all the money at when because she wants to come here. But she went to Impact first. That's Deonna Purrazzo. I feel like you sign her.
It's
holy
another
shit,
Brit, man! It's another Brit that could be a top star like Brit. A very
very top star.
Yeah.
Obviously, it sucks because Tessa came with all the shit that happened with Tessa. Tessa Blanchard to me and Phil is still the best female wrestler in the world, and obviously her past decisions, probably rightfully so, are going to have her not come to this company, but that would have been the star, I think, at the beginning. So like when we went back to the Joshi style, I think people didn't understand it, and they kind of were like, well, Kenny's booking it. Here you go. Here's Rio. Like Tessa Blanchard would have been that perfect first champion for AEW because it was a recognizable name, a recognizable face, someone that could go in the ring. And I feel like that's probably where they wanted to go.
Yeah.
And then all that shit happened, and they're not going to touch her now.
Yeah. It's a shame. Other than that, it's going to be an interesting week, guys, coming up. We got our go-home week for Revolution. Revolution is going to be a big event. Man, the stuff they're doing in Orlando, we keep joking about, like, oh, it's the WrestleMania, but what they're doing literally is they're doing now. They've added a live event on Thursday night for people to go watch. And I'm like, oh my God, so they're doing Dynamite Wednesday, the live event Thursday, the concert Friday, the fan access Saturday, and then Revolution Sunday. This is the WrestleMania. We joke about it all the time. No. This is WrestleMania for AEW, man. Like, they don't do all that for all their other pay-per-views. Like, it is. It's Revolution Mania.
Yeah, but All Out does it too now, so.
But they don't do I haven't seen them do the concert,
one could be your Royal Rumble.
Event.
One could be your Royal Rumble. One can be your Mania.
It's insane.
I mean, we went to Royal Rumble weekend was just as stacked as Mania weekend. Now, I liked Mania weekend because, like, when Riddle was on the Indies, I would like to go watch him wrestle, and I could at midnight. So I go to NXT. Then we were sitting next to Johnny Gargano watching Beyond Wrestling because Candace was wrestling.
Even the card
Adam Cole was sitting there, and I'm talking to Riddle, and Adam Cole walks up and starts talking to us. I'm like, what the fuck is this place? Like, it was so cool, right? But that's why I loved Mania weekend, is because you have all these different shows happening, and there's so much different wrestling. Like Mania 29, Dragon Gate. I saw Shingo Takagi versus Johnny Gargano in the main event, and probably the best wrestling match I've ever seen live in Dragon Gate USA. The Young Bucks were there. Like, it's just so much, and it exposes. At that time, 29, I'm a casual fan. I'm only watching WWF every now and then. I go because CM Punk's wrestling The Undertaker, and Punk's like my guy at the time. And it just that's when I was like, okay, there's wrestling outside of here that I can really love. And I think that's why Mania weekend's so cool. And I hope that's what they're doing with either Revolution or with All Out. Maybe GCW can start running some shows like the day before and get eyes on other talent. And I think Tony Khan will be all in for that. No pun.
Yeah. and it's so cool. Like you're right. Like the Mania weekend, there's so much other stuff going on. Because a lot of companies do capitalize on it. And it was hilarious. I tell the story all the time. On WrestleMania 35 weekend, I went to House of Glory, and there were this little like dungy bar looking place, but the talent that was there was insane. Like the Lucha Brothers were there. Low-Key came out. I mean, the Great Muta was there. This is the funny story with this story is Great Muta was there, and he had a match. We trek over to G1 right after that event, like 2 hours later, and they always start off G1 with their ROH New Japan Rumble, and freaking there out comes Great Muta with his old ass in gear again. I'm like, I just saw you wrestle 2 hours ago.
It's so fucking cool. So at Caffeine, it was Deonna Purrazzo and Riddle were, I believe, a team. Okay. And we, Deonna didn't want to stay up because she wrestled 6 matches that day. So she asked if they could go first on Caffeine so she could go to bed. So Riddle was done early. But then, the year before that, Riddle was the main event. So it was 3 a.m. Oh, wow. That day, so me and Riddle are talking right before his match. He's like, I've wrestled 8 matches today for 8 different things going on. There was 3-4 different shows in that arena alone that day. Then there was an arena down the street. So.
Okay. Well,
but Rampage was great.
Yeah, but Rampage was good. But guys, we're gonna wrap this up here. Thank you guys for tuning in to another morning edition to Good Morning Elite. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do a quick plug here? Myself and Ant will be back live tonight. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time is the beginning of the draft tonight, folks. If you guys are a fan of our E-Federation. If not, come over and check it out. If you ever want to join up, you ever thought about joining up, come watch. If you're interested, hit up me and Ant.
Especially if you're an Elite POV listener, we'll get you in.
Yeah.
Like that's other people will have to wait. You guys don't.
Yeah. So hit us up and come watch the draft. We're going to draft our rosters for both shows. Ant's going to do a Sunday night show. I'm going to do the Monday night show. It'll be 2 shows a week for AWF. So make sure you guys go over to twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed to follow that on Twitch. And you can follow the Twitter account, twitter.com/AWF_EFed. It sucks because I wish I could name it both the same, but one thing doesn't allow us to put that many characters in the other, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, guys, tune in for that. And then tomorrow we have our last pay-per-view, King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, on 2K19 before we transition over to 2K22, happening next week. Is crazy. Yeah, we have a lot of grinding to do, myself and Ant, but
yeah.
Ant, I guess
we'll be streaming it. So, and I'm sure Jacky will be hanging out because she always hangs out when we're streaming.
She'll be there.
That's what I do.
She'll be there bringing the cocky energy.
So what we're going to do is I think we're going to start a little donation fund because I really want to get Jacky some kind of video game system so she can join us. So I might send her my old Xbox and buy the new one. I don't know what I'm doing yet. We're going to see. But twitch.tv/DefyAnt, DEFY Ant _Defiant. That's my new Twitch channel where last night we were playing Fortnite Gears. A lot of the POV people were in there. Thank you for that. We were having fucking a ball last night, having a blast. And it's only going to get more fun. Jacky, I know you are having mic issues over there, but we love you and you're doing great, sweetie, as Chris Kardashian would say.
Chris Kardashian. But Jacky, I know where they can find you and all your tweets that get liked by your boy Cash Wheeler.
Oh boy, well I hope you can hear me, but you can
her
find
mic's perfect now.
You can find me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can find me on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Yeah, and apologize, guys. You know, technology, it is what it is these days. People obviously
it's so on brand for
and
this
now
week,
it's fixed.
honestly.
And now it's fixed.
Hey,
and now it's fixed.
Telling you guys, one day, one of us is going to win the lottery. We're going to hit it big, and then we're all going to move in together in a big, massive house with all our families, and then we're going to have a studio in the basement.
Because I'm sure everyone wants to hang out with my
That's
crazy
exactly what we're going to do.
24 hours a day
100%.
with my wife and 2 children. Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's exactly.
How about you just buy the house across the street, bud?
I'm down.
But if you're going to All Out, look for us because we're getting a fucking house.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, yeah, we're quickly planning things for All Out before they get booked up, and things we're going to be doing on the go here. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into Good Morning Elite right here on behalf of Elite POV. And ladies and gentlemen, you know how we sign off here. You don't need to have a coffee cup to have a coffee, which is available on the merch store. It's available on the merch store right now. Go check out ElitePOVmerch.com to get your coffee cup of You Don't Need a Coffee Cup to Have a Coffee. See you later. Totally put the wrong